Every single one of us, we've gone through so much in our lives, and a lot of the past experiences ended up creating a lot of patterns that were stored in the physical body or energetically that in a way is determine how we live our lives. By practicing yin yoga, we create this space for us to physically release those stagnation and emotionally, mentally, energetically to release the patterns so that we can live more freely, more gracefully. Hi everyone, my name is Susan. Today I'm going to guide you through a yin yoga practice for emotional healing. Every single one of us, we've gone through so much in our lives, and a lot of the past experiences ended up creating a lot of patterns that were stored in the physical body or energetically that in a way is determine how we live our lives. By practicing yin yoga, we create this space for us to physically release those stagnation and emotionally, mentally, energetically to release the patterns so that we can live more freely, more gracefully. Whenever you feel ready, you can meet me on your back, laying down on your yoga mat. Just take a few moments here to allow yourself to settle. Perhaps even place one palm on your belly, the other one on your heart. Just take a few breaths. And notice how you're feeling in this exact moment. Each breath in inviting a little bit more expansion, more space within you. Each breath out, allow yourself start to soften just a little bit. A few more breaths. Inhale, breathe into your palms. Exhale, let go of something. Settle into your practice fields, your healing space. Take another deep breath in. Full breath out. On your next inhale, you can reach your arms overhead, point your toes. Give yourself a full body stretch like you just wake up. Then when you're ready, we're going to bring the feet towards the right side. Simultaneously bring your arms towards the right side. If I look at your body from the ceiling, your body looks like a banana shape. You're welcome to keep your arms extended. Maybe bend your elbows, grab onto the opposite of them. If it helps, you can also bend the right knee, grab onto the right ankle with the right hand so we can assist this stretch for a little bit deeper. As much as possible, try to relax the left shoulder down on the floor so we're not hunching on one side, but rather we're really feeling that expansion on the entire left side of the body between the left hip and the left rib cage. Stay here and breathe. Notice that space you're creating on the entire left side, finding an edge as you're settling into your pose where you're feeling that stretch, you're feeling that strong sensation, but it's sustainable and we can stay here for a minute or two. Wherever you are, allow the body to settle, allow the mind to settle with the steadiness of each breath in and out. Notice that space you're already creating on the left side of the body. Perhaps initially you were feeling that strong stretch, strong sensation, and now it's already softened a little bit. If you like, you're always welcome to deepen a little bit by bringing the feet a little bit more towards the right side, or maybe your arms a little bit more. Again, try as much as possible, keep the left shoulder, the left hip down on the floor. So we're really finding that expansion, the side bend here. One more minute. Allow your muscles to soften even more. And also notice if your facial expression is not relaxed here. With the next exhalation, can you release that space between your eyebrows? Take about 5 more breaths here. Really breathe into the entire left side of the body. Allow yourself to open up and soften. One more deep inhalation. Exhale fully. Whenever you feel ready, you can slowly come back through the center. Maybe reach your arms overhead, point your toes, give yourself another full body stretch. Just notice the difference you're feeling. And whenever you're ready, you can walk your feet towards the left side this time. Walk your arms towards the left side as well. This time we're opening up the right side of the body. Maybe your arms are straight. Maybe you're grabbing onto the opposite of your elbows. Maybe you want to bend the left knee. Use the left hand to grab onto the left ankle to assist you for a deeper stretch. Again, as much as possible, we're going to keep the right shoulder down. So we're really expanding the right side of the body. Find that space between the hip and the rib cage. Breathe here deeply. If I look up, look at your body from above, your body will look like a banana shape. Finding that expansion. First, once again, we settle into the physical pose. Where there's an edge, we're feeling that stretch, but it's sustainable. Then we find a slow and steady breath. And eventually, we allow the mind to settle. We allow whatever that we're ready to open up and release to come to the surface. Trust this healing space. Allow yourself to remove any stagnation within this pose. Let's stay here for 2 more minutes. Keep breathing into the entire right side of the body. And whenever you notice this initial sensation as you're getting into has softened, you would like to go deeper, you can always make any adjustments. Maybe walk the feet a little bit more further towards the left side. Maybe walk your arms further more. Just remember to keep the right shoulder down, keep the right hip down. So we're really finding that expansion, that side bend in this shape. The breath is slow and steady, helping us to invite more openness through each inhale, helping us to release more tension, more stagnation through each exhale. One last minute here. Notice what is happening here and now. Notice how the body already starts to soften. We already created a little bit more space from within. Take 5 more breaths here. Another deep inhalation. Exhale fully. When you feel ready, you can slowly bring yourself back towards the midline. Maybe one more time, reach your arms overhead, point your toes, give yourself a full body stretch. And just notice that openness you have already created. Now this time when you're ready, you can bring the left knee into your chest. Give the left knee a big hug, maybe bringing to the chest, maybe even invite a few smaller circles. Then when you're ready, you can place the right hand onto the right hip so we're not falling onto one side, finding a happy baby. Perhaps today I'm grabbing onto the outside of the left foot, maybe at the left ankle, the calf, maybe the back of the knee or back of the left thigh. As much as possible, we're going to bring the tailbone down onto the floor. So we're lengthening the entire spine and keep the back of the neck straight. Feel free to shake the head left and right a couple of times if that feels good. Then just start to soften into this pose. We store so much tension, so much past experiences in those larger joints such as those hips. So right here, right now, can I give myself the permission to at least soften so I may have the potential to allow the stagnation to move through. Breathe into the left hip. Allow the muscles around your left hip to soften. Whenever we go through any experience in life, happiness or in distress, very often we create either attachments or resistance. If I see a butterfly, I absolutely love it. I want to experience that again. Then I will do whatever I can to see that butterfly again. In a way, it's altering the way I'm moving through my life because my desire to see that butterfly was so strong. And on the other hand, if I see a snake and I really did not like that experience, in the future, I would try anything I can to avoid seeing the snake again. And sometimes even when I see a rope on the ground, I would falsely thinking that was a snake and change my way. So in a way, happiness or distress, different experiences, when we become attached or when we start to create resistance, we start to create patterns of our lives. And rather than allowing life to flow through us freely, we start to work around our lives so that we may see more butterflies and less of the snakes. And by working with those deeper tissues, we are actually in a way removing the stagnation by removing our attachments and resistance so that we may allow life to flow more freely through us, more gracefully. Take another 5 more breaths here. Keep breathing into the left hip. What am I resisting? What am I overly attached to? Can I soften that? Another deep inhalation. Exhale fully. When you feel ready, very gently bring the left knee back into your chest. Give yourself another big hug. Then slowly, you can release the left leg down. Notice the difference between the two sides. Whenever you're ready, you're going to bring the right knee into your chest. Same thing here. We're going to first just bring the knee a little bit closer towards the chest. Maybe you want to invite a few small movements to just checking how am I feeling on the right side today. Then we're going to place the left hand onto the left hip so we're not falling onto one side or another. Use the right hand to either grab onto the outside of the right foot, maybe the ankle, the calf, back of the knee, or back of the thigh. As much as possible, I'm going to try to keep my tailbone down, simultaneously keep the back of the neck on the ground so my spine is very soft and very relaxed, very straightened here. From here, you can bring the right knee a little bit closer towards the armpit. Stay here and breathe. Allow the muscles around your right hip to soften. Again, we all store so much in this physical body. And when we're storing those in the physical body, more so it's emotional, it's energetic. Once we start to allow those joints, the fascia, the connective tissues to soften, we start to release the stagnation. We are really removing the patterns that's determining how we live our lives. When we start to see how the butterflies in my life are guiding me to work through life in a certain way, or the snakes in my life are in a way directing me in another way, I start to notice how I am resisting to life, to the current of life as it should be. It was said that it took 13.8 billions of years for everything to happen the way it exactly did for us to be here in this exact moment of here and now. And if you really think about it, how divinely arranged that is. There is really no reason for me to resist or attach, whether it's happiness or in distress. It's all perfect so that I can evolve closer towards who I am. And that's why a big part of healing is to work through our past experiences. What has formed the way of our behavior, the way we move through life. Can we take a step back? Can we remove the cleanliness or the resistance we all have so that we can live life as it is, so we can see every single moment of this life as magical? Take another 5 more breaths here. Keep breathing into the right hip. One more deep inhalation. Exhale fully. Whenever you're ready, you can bring the right knee back into your chest. Give yourself another big hug, big squeeze. From here, maybe one more time, reach your arms overhead, point your toes, give yourself a full body stretch. Notice the space you have already created. And we can bend the left knee, sole of the left foot on the floor. Slowly roll on to the right side. Take a moment to allow yourself to settle. And whenever you feel ready, you can slowly make your way back into your all fours, tabletop. We worked with the lower part of the body. Now let's take a moment to work with the shoulders, which are also the larger joints that store a lot of our past experiences. From here, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. On your inhale, you can ground down through the left palm, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Then we thread a needle underneath, right shoulder down, right cheek down. You can either tend onto the fingertips of the left hand to help you twist more, or if you would like to open up the left shoulder more, walk the left arm towards the front, perhaps even cross the line of symmetry towards the right side, and gaze from underneath the left shoulder and breathe. Again, first, we want to settle into the pose. Where there's an edge, I'm feeling that stretch in the left shoulder, but it's sustainable. Then in this pose, perhaps there's even a little bit of discomfort. Allow yourself to settle and allow yourself to find that slow and steady breath here. Yin yoga is a beautiful practice for healing, because in healing, we need to first process what's making us uncomfortable. Are you willing to sit with the discomfort? Are you willing to sit with whatever emotions and past experiences that's coming up, so we can learn lessons from them, so we can make adjustments, and from there, we can heal and evolve. Keep breathing into the left shoulder. If it's available, maybe open up the left shoulder a little bit more by walk the left hand slightly more towards the right side. Breathe here for 1 more minute. Five last breaths here. Notice what is happening here and now. Allow the left shoulder to soften and open even more. Another deep inhalation. Exhale fully. Whenever you feel ready, you can slowly bring the left hand back underneath the left shoulder. With control, lift yourself back up. If it feels good, maybe reach the right arm up to open up once again. From here, we come back to the neutral spine. Then we're going to go towards the opposite direction. On your inhale, ground down through the right palm. Left arm open up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread a needle your left cheek on the ground. Maybe I'm turning onto the right fingertips this time to just twist more to open up the shoulder. Maybe I'm going to walk the right arm forward to open up even more. Maybe I can cross the line of symmetry, gaze from underneath the right shoulder to go even deeper. Again, the two sides of our bodies are usually not 100% symmetrical. Maybe this side I need to go a little bit more. Maybe this side I need to be more patient. Wherever you are, find your edge. Find the place you're feeling the stretch, but it's sustainable. As we're opening up the parts of us that's storing a lot of those past experiences, the larger joints, your shoulders, your hips, you might notice the different emotions coming up. You might notice the different experiences from the past might come up to the surface. Sometimes it makes us feel a little bit uncomfortable. But know that to be able to really truly heal, we cannot just bury those emotions. We need to take a moment to look at them, acknowledge them. Know that each emotion, they're all here as our teachers. Whenever we experience any emotion, they're here to direct us to certain areas of our lives that's needing a little bit of adjustment so we may grow. So when you notice those emotions are coming up, acknowledge them, observe them, recognize why they're here, what are the lessons you have to learn to be able to evolve. And then when it's time, say a little thank you to those emotions. Rather than holding on to them in the body or energetically, allow them to go gracefully once they have done their job to help us make those adjustments. Stay here for one last minute. Keep breathing into the right shoulder. And if you notice your body is already more open, you're more than welcome to deepen a little bit. Maybe walk the right arm a little bit more towards the left side. Maybe open up the right shoulder even deeper in this stretch. Your breath is slow and steady, helping you to remove that stagnation, helping you to release whatever that you're ready to let go of. Take another 5 last breaths here. Another deep breath in. Full breath out. When you're ready, you can slowly bring the right hand back underneath the shoulder. With control, lift the left arm up, opening up your chest. Exhale, left hand down towards the floor. Feel free to take one cat-cow here just so that we can neutralize. And when you're ready, settle into a child's pose. If you know your hips are more open, feel free to open up the knees a little bit wider. If you're looking for a little bit more groundiness, feel free to bring the knees together. Then just start by walk your hands towards the front. Allow the forehead to be fully supported and settle into your child's pose. Notice what is happening here and now. How am I feeling physically? Is my breath slow and steady? And what is on my mind? What are the qualities of the thoughts on my mind? If there's any emotions, past experiences that's coming up, at least am I willing to witness and sit with them? Even if I'm not ready to completely release or let go, or even to work through them, am I at least willing to witness and acknowledge them? Allow the next 2 minutes in your child's pose to be your healing tempo. Notice those emotions, the patterns, and then go from there. One last minute here. What is happening here and now? Am I willing to be so courageous to work with my emotions, my patterns, so I may have the potential to live my life more gracefully? Five more breaths in your child's pose. Knowing this is a beautiful, safe, and sacred space to facilitate your own healing. Another deep inhalation. Exhale fully. Stay in your child's pose for as long as you need. And whenever you feel ready, you can very slowly transition into your final pose, Shavasana. Reaping the benefits of all the previous poses we have practiced today. And if you have a hair tie, feel free to remove it. If you have anything that's stopping you from fully relax, remove them so that you can settle into the most important pose in our practice, allowing the mode of goodness to pervade your body in your Shavasana. You can open up your arms wherever your shoulders are comfortable. Open up your legs wherever your hips are comfortable. Feel free to use any props so that you can settle into a deep state of stillness. Relax your toes, your heels, your ankles, your calves, your knees. Relax your thighs, your hips, your glutes. Relax your lower back, mid-back, upper back. Relax your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, forearms, wrists, fingertips. Relax the back of your neck, the back of your head, the top of your head. Relax your facial expression, the space between your eyebrows. The practice of yin yoga creates this space for us to open up the parts of the body that's been storing our patterns, emotions, past experiences. And in doing so, by going inward, we create this sacred field where we can undo those patterns, where we can move more gracefully through life by letting go of the attachments or resistance we have created over the years. Allow yourself to tap into this practice more and more often, so we may have the potential to live more freely, more gracefully, start to see life as the magical, divinely arranged experience as it is. Please stay in your Shavasana for at least a few minutes or for as long as you need to today. And I will leave you here. I look forward to practicing with you once again. Namaste.